So let's talk about stakeholder engagement. We all spend a ton of time on it, right? But here's the real question. How do we actually know if any of it is working? It's time to go way beyond just ticking boxes and really learn how to measure the health of our stakeholder relationships.
I mean, think about it for a second. You're sending the updates, you're holding all the meetings, you're making those check-in calls. But is all that activity actually getting you the results you need? Or is it just busy work? That's the big question every single project team needs to be asking themselves.
And the best way to get a real answer is with a good old-fashioned health check. Just like a doctor checks your vital signs to get a clear picture of your overall health, we can use that same idea to diagnose our stakeholder strategy. It's a super powerful way to see what's really going on beneath the surface.
All right, let's dive right into our first vital sign, engagement and alignment. I want you to think of this as your project's pulse. A strong, steady beat, that means things are healthy. But a weak or an erratic one, well, that's your early warning sign that trouble might be just around the corner.
So what does a strong pulse actually look and feel like? It means your stakeholders are way more than just names on an email list. They are active, engaged partners who actually genuinely believe in what the project is trying to achieve. They aren't just sitting there nodding along in meetings. No, they're in the trenches with you, actively helping it succeed.
So how do we measure this pulse? Well, we've got a few tools in our kit. First, you can gauge satisfaction the old-fashioned way, through interviews and surveys. Just ask them. Second, you can measure their support using a tool like the Net Promoter Score. Third, you can confirm everyone's on the same page by looking at the number and type of change requests coming in. And fourth, you validate the project's direction by getting direct feedback on the latest work. Each one of these gives you a solid piece of data. Let's just zoom in on that Net Promoter Score, or NPS, for a second. This little metric is amazing because it gives you a clear, hard number. It all comes down to one simple question. On a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this project to a colleague? By taking your biggest fans and subtracting your biggest critics, you get one single score that just cuts through all the noise and tells you exactly where you stand. It's incredibly telling. Okay, on to our next vital sign. Risk response. Now, if engagement is the project's pulse, then your ability to handle stakeholder-related risks, well, that's its immune system. How good is your project at identifying and fighting off threats before they can do any real damage?
A healthy project doesn't just lurch from one fire to the next. It has a robust immune system. And what that means is that stakeholder-related risks are spotted before they blow up into major issues, and you already have effective response plans ready to go. It's the huge difference between being proactive and being constantly reactive.
And you want to know where the proof is? It's in the paperwork, your issue log, your risk register, your stakeholder register. They tell the entire story. Is that risk register actually up to date with clear plans for what to do? Is the issue log being actively worked? Are you tracking and actually addressing stakeholder concerns? This paper trail is the hard evidence that your project's immune system is actually working. Moving on to the project's circulatory system, the communication flow. Look, you can have a strong pulse and a fantastic immune system, but if information, isn't flowing to all the right places, you're still in big trouble.
And here's the key thing to remember. Effective communication is not about volume. It's not about sending more emails or scheduling more meetings. The goal here is precision. It's all about making sure the right information gets to the right stakeholders at the right time. It's about relevance, not noise.
Communication is a dynamic loop, It's not some set it and forget it task. You start by reviewing your plan, then you tweak it and tailor it as your stakeholders' needs change. Then you execute that plan consistently. And finally, and this is the part people forget, you close the loop by gathering feedback to see if it's actually working. That feedback then feeds right back into your next review cycle. It's a living process.
Our final vital sign takes a look at how well all the different parts of the body are working together. We're talking about supplier integration, that absolutely critical link between your core team and your external suppliers, your vendors, and your partners.
So what does success look like here? It means your suppliers are not just some disconnected contractors you hired. No, it means their unique perspectives and their ways of working are woven seamlessly right into the project plan itself. It's how you make sure everyone is rowing in the exact same direction, using the exact same map. The difference here is it's night and day. On one side,
you've got siloed work with disconnected plans, which always leads to friction and tons of rework. And on the other, you've got a true integrated partnership that creates cohesive, synchronized results. It's the difference between fighting against your partners and flowing with them.
So, if we take a step back and look at all of these vital signs, they all point to one single central idea. It is not enough to simply do the work of stakeholder management. The true mark of a successful project manager and a successful project is being able to prove that all your hard work is actually delivering the right outcomes.
So that leaves us with one final question for you to take away. Looking at these 4 vital signs we've talked about: engagement, risk, communication, and integration. What is the one symptom your project is showing right now that you know deep down you just can't afford to ignore any longer?